Okay. Everything's in order this evening. We do have a quorum present. We do have all of our legal notices posted outside the building, so we're pursuant to the Open Meetings Act. Cheryl, do we have anyone signed up to give citizen comments?
We do not.
Okay, thank you. Time for presentation and announcements. Council, do any of you have any presentations or announcements that you would like to do? So then we'll move on to council business regular session. Item number 1 on the agenda is to discussion of the 2023-24 proposed budget. I think Jay's going to talk about the budget momentarily.
Yeah, so updates are basically there's not been any changes to the budget that Finance Director has put out to us, other than what was discussed in the workshop. You know, when we did our budget workshop, there were just a few little things that popped up, and so she just made those adjustments in there. As we talked about, thank you. See, we got to remind each other. Other than that, in the full scope of the budget, everything is like it was the workshop. So no other adjustments unless y'all had anything else or a question, and I'll talk about the tax rate next and what we're looking at, and I'll get into a little more of that discussion.
All right, any questions for Mr. Abercrombie on the 2023-24 proposed budget? Any questions? Okay, none coming forward. We will move to item number 2 on the agenda. That's discussion of the 2023-24 proposed tax rate.
Okay, Mayor, Council, as I mentioned, as we talked about in the workshop, the budget workshop, the idea was that we wanted to stay with the same tax rate that we had previous year. And so looks like we're going to be able to do that just today, just here in the last couple of hours. We've been kind of working through some of the numbers and working with Hilltop Securities as well. I mentioned possibly doing taking on a tax note to get an extra $500,000 that we can use towards streets in the interim in between bonds with the larger scale stuff for the streets we want to finish off, as Davis has mentioned too. And so we can do that and take on that extra $500,000 and go to debt in our INS side, but it won't change our total tax rate. The idea is that the tax rate that we're currently in of 0.541800 will stay identical. That's what the proposed tax rate will be as we get into the public hearing and budget times over the next few meetings. So that's, again, we worked yesterday and today. Thank you, Karen, and her diligent work on it and running the numbers. The tax rate worksheet comes from the county, and we have to have a lot of conversation back and forth to make sure that it's right. There's a lot of fill in the blanks of a 12-page sheet just to get to a tax rate. So anyway, that's the update, and we look forward to the discussion and public hearings as we move forward in the next few meetings.
Questions for Mr. Abercrombie? Yes, sir.
Sir. It's for the recording. Yeah.
Speaking on the extra 500,000, do we have any streets that should have been done in this budget, not the one coming up? But do we have some unfinished streets that we need to finish?
Mr. Brown?
What I'm saying is, with the money that you had for the street project, that's
The bond of
The bond.
the $5 million.
Got all your streets done?
you got all those streets down. So all of the streets you're going to do now are new streets? Okay.
The idea is that this 500,000 would add to 200,000 that's already in that budget line item. Am I right, Karen? For a total of 700,000 to go towards streets this year that would give us a jump start for the final street plan that we're doing. Just get a head start and not just sit on not being able to do anything for 2 years in between, ultimately. Because we weren't able to do a whole lot of anything this year because the bond was up. So we don't want to sit and not do anything. It just gets pricier. Like we've talked about, the cost is more expensive as we go. So, yeah, just get a jump start on the final bond.
I guess let me ask while I got the mic on. I would like to see a list of the streets whenever you get them prepared. Okay, thank you.
Council, as I mentioned at the last meeting, if y'all have any pointed streets that you really know of yourself that are in your district or someone else's district, now's the time to bring those forward and give those to Mr. Brown. He's taking input on those things right there.
Long Beach Drive.
There we go. It's in there, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, y'all know what to do. Okay? With that being said, that item number 2 was information only. Now we'll move to item number 3. This will be a voted on item. Consideration and possible action upon scheduling 2 public hearings on the proposed budget for fiscal year 2023, 2024 to be held on August the 22nd, 2023 at 6 p.m. during a regular scheduled meeting, and on September the 5th, 2023 at 6 p.m. during a regular rescheduled meeting. Okay? Is that understandable? Do I need to read that again? Okay? That's by law, right, Cheryl? We have to do this by law. Okay. Any questions on that or anything? Not, I'd like to hear a motion. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Okay, like sign opposed. Item number 3 stands approved. Item number 4 on the agenda is consideration and possible action upon scheduling. Oh, that's okay. We really haven't crossed any paths there where we need an attorney, but we'd rather have you in here. Yeah. Okay. Scheduling 1 public hearing, see SB 2 or Texas Tax Code 26.05D on the 2023 property tax rate to be held on September the 5th, 2023 at 6 p.m. during a regular scheduled meeting. Okay. Cheryl? Okay, speak loud. Yeah. On November. Questions concerning that? Any questions? Pretty well cut and dried, I think. The language here was given to us by the state, so obviously we have to adopt it regardless. Okay, do I hear a motion? Okay. We have a motion and a couple of seconds. I don't know, it doesn't matter which one we use. Whoever's recording this.
From the same person.
Yeah, okay. Any opposed? All in favor? All right. Okay. Item number 4 stands approved. All right, next item on the agenda is adjournment. Do I hear a motion to adjourn at 6:11 p.m.? We have a motion in several seconds, so we stand adjourned at this time at 6:12. You're over. You're only one person. You're only one person. You can't do that.